Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome back to your brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we are into our class 2 from book 2. So in the previous class we just learned about inna, and inshallah today we're going to revise a bit more about inna and learn a few more aspects inshallah. So going to today's lesson is on inna, dhu and So we're going to learn about these three. So we know inna is a harf tawqid wa nasbin. Means it's a particle which is used to emphasize the whole sentence, and it also gives nasb to the mubtada. And it always comes in jumlatul ismiya, and we know that jumlatul ismiya has mubtada and khabar. So what happens when inna enters? What inna does is it changes the mubtada into ismu inna. That's all happens, nothing else. So and the khabar remains khabar. So inna makes the mubtada into ismu inna and khabar into khabar inna, and the khabar remains the same, and the ismu inna will have a mansoob. So that's why it's called harfu nasbin. So the khabar, just to remind you that we did touch that there are 5 kinds of khabar. So let me give you an example. For example, if I say hamidun talibun, so here hamidun is mubtada and talibun is khabar. It is one word. So when it is one word, it is indefinite and it is marfu. So if you say hamidun fil fasli, so here fil fasli is jar majrur shibu jumla khabar. So it's another fragment. And you say hamidun excuse me, hamidun amamal mudarrisi. So hamid is in front of teacher. So amamal mudarrisi is zarf mudaf ilayhi, is another type of khabar fragment. And hamidun dhahaba ila al-masjidi. So here dhahaba ila al-masjidi is a jumlatul fi'liya, and this jumlatul fi'liya is coming as a khabar for hamid. And the last type of khabar what we have is jumlatul ismiya. So where in itself it is have a mubtada and khabar. This is where the things become more difficult when you have long sentences to identify which part is the khabar for which part. So here for example we say hamidun akhuhu. So his brother is tabibun, is a doctor. These are the types of khabar which will remain khabar. So what happens when inna enters? So if you say hamidun talibun will become hamidan talibun. So hamidun will become hamidan, gets a mansoob. So hamidun fil fasli will become hamidan fil fasli. Inna hamidan fil fasli. Hamidun amam al mudarrisi. Inna hamidan amam al mudarrisi. Hamidun dhahaba ila al masjidi. Inna hamidan dhahaba ila al masjidi. And finally, hamidun akhuhu tabibun. So it's inna hamidan akhuhu tabibun. So this is just a quick revision. So inshallah we'll go to so another thing is, so the noun which the inna gives mansoob, the ismu inna, may not be immediately after inna. So we've learned that jar majrur shibu jumla khabar or zarf jumla khabar can come early like a khabar muqaddam, and there can be a mubtada muakhar, in which case the ismu inna will be far more behind. Let me give you some example from the Quran. So I will say inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard waqtilafil layli wan nahari la ayatil li ulil albab. So what do we see here? If you see here, immediately after inna we have fi, which is harf jar. So we know that harf jar can never be a mubtada, so it is a khabar muqaddam. So what type of khabar it is? Jar majrur, and there is a chain of mudaf ilayhi and mawtuf. So fi khalqi samawati wal ard. So in the creation of heavens and earth. So again waw ataf waqtilafil layli. So again this mawtufun ala khalq is in alteration of layl is night and nahar is day. Night and day is la'ayatin. So we're looking for a mansoob noun. Mansoob is, so we know ayat is a plural for ayah, and they are and the pattern of Jama' Muannas Salim. So we know the mansub form of Jama' Muannas Salim is ayatin. So if it is ayatun, ayatin, ayatin. So this lam, la, is another type of emphasis which you're going to learn later, inshallah. It's a double impact which you cannot translate, unfortunately. So inna fi khalqis samawati wal ardi wa ikhtilafil layli wan nahari la ayatin li ulil albab, for the people of. So we're going to go to our main lesson now, inshallah. So here we're doing lesson number 1 from book 2. So it's a conversation between a student Hashim and a teacher. So Hashim says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So we've learned about this analysis, so we're not going to do it again. So Al-Mudarris is saying, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hashim, Kaifa haluka ya ustaz? La'allaka bi khair. So Kaifa haluka. So we know Kaifa halu and ka, because it is addressing a male, so it will be a ka, and ya ustazu. So harf nida will always have a noun after it will have a single dhamma. So we know it's not ustazun, it is ustazu. And la'allaka. So with this one, la'alla means hope and fear, and in here it means hope. I hope you are fine, bi khair. So Hashim is saying, so teacher is replying, Al-Mudarris, Alhamdulillah, wa kaifa haluka anta ya Hashim. And he's telling, so whenever you reply, so you give an emphasis, we say, wa kaifa haluka ant. So anta or anti, depending on the gender. Ya Hashim. Ana uhibbuka. See, ana uhibbuka. Uhibbu, we have not done this type of verb. We'll do it later, inshallah, which means I love or I like. So uhibbuka is mudaf, not mudaf ilayh, it's maf'ulun bihi. It's ka, means you. Ana uhibbuka, I love you. Kathiran ya Hashimu, I like you a lot, ya Hashim. Innaka, see, innaka. So this ka, inna, harf tawqid wa nasbin. Ka is ismu inna. So what is khabar inna? Is talibun. So innaka talibun zakiyun. So what is zakiyun here? Is a na'at for talibun. So most definitely you are a intelligent student. Wa mujtahidun. So wa ataf and mujtahidun is mawthufun ala. Zakiyun is a na'at. Again is a hardworking. Wa dhu khulukin. Dhu khulukin. So what is this dhu? So we're going to learn today. Dhu means possessor of. The meaning itself is possessor, the one who has the quality. So that's the meaning. So if you see here, so the zu itself has the embedded meaning of possessor of. So we know anything after of is a mudaf ilahi. So after zu, so there should be a mudaf ilahi, which means zu will always comes as a mudaf. It will always comes as a mudaf, and there will always be a mudaf ilahi to explain more about zu. So the other nouns which we learned that they're always mudaf is ayyu and kullu. So we did in book 1, ayyu and kullu. These are the nouns which after which there will always be a mudaf ilayhi, and zu is also among one of those. However, the another speciality of zu is that it's among asma'ul khamsa. So if we just remind ourselves, asma'ul khamsa, 5 special nouns, it is abun, akhun, famun, hamun and zu. So zu is part of asma'ul khamsa, and what is the speciality of those? That when there is marfu and when they are become mudaf, the sign of marfu will be waw, and the sign of mansub will be alif, and the sign of majrur will be ya. So this is because zu is always mudaf, you will always see waw as a sign of marfu and alif as a sign of mansub. So that's about zu. So here the teacher is asking, Amin Pakistan anta am min al Hind ya Hashim. So we have to understand again here, there's a new word here, So what is am? Am means or. Means or. So there's another word which will means or, which is aw. So what is the difference between and aw? Is used in questions. So if you want to ask, are you from India or Pakistan? So it's a question. So we use and if you're making a statement, then you use or. Give me this or that. So you're making a statement. So in that you use aw. And will always come in question. So most of the time you will see as a beginning of the question. So if you see here, amim Pakistan anta, min al Hind. So normally if you see or in English language, if you have to say, you say, are you from Pakistan or India? So the nouns which we are comparing, they come one after the other. So are you from Pakistan or India? However, in original or classical Arabic, in the pure form of Arabic, what will happen is the nouns, like if you're telling are you from Pakistan or India, so the first question or the first noun which is being compared will come after a. So say amim Pakistan anta, amim Pakistan anta min al Hind. It's not anta min Pakistan min al Hind. That's wrong. So it will be amim Pakistan anta min al Hind. So this is the correct pattern of speech. So here say amim Pakistan anta min al Hind. So if you see here, between Pakistan and Hind, so we have a separator. So they come separate. So one is immediately after a and the other will come after So Hashim replies, inni, most definitely I. So inna plus ya mutakallim, because of ya, then the fatha turns into kasra. So inni min al Hind, most definitely I am from India. Al-Mudar is asking, wa zamiluka. See, zamiluka, mudaf ilayhi. Zamilu plus ka is damir muttasil. This ka is damir muttasil. It is a majroor form, whereas here the damir muttasil is a mansoob form. Is a ismu inna, and here it is mudaf ilayhi. Wa zamiluka allazi. So here again silatul mawsul, which is coming as a naat for zamilu, and silatul mawsul will have a ismu mawsul will have a silatul mawsul. So allazi is the ismu mawsula, and we're looking for a silatul mawsul. And kharaja ma'aka al-an min al-fasl. So this kharaja says jumlatul fi'liya. The whole jumlatul fi'liya is coming as silatul mawsul for allazi. So teacher is asking, and your colleague, the one who left with you now from the class, allazi kharaja ma'aka min al-an min al-fasl, ahuwa aidan. And again is a question here, harf istifham. Huwa aidan, is he also min al Hind? Is he also from India? Hashim says la. Innahu, see, inna plus hu is ismu inna, and min Pakistana, this is a mamnu min as-sarf. Pakistanu will be Pakistana. Innahu min Pakistana. Al-Mudarris, inna sa'ataka. See, sa'a means watch. So sa'atun is watch. Sa'ata ka. Why ta? Because it's coming as a ismu inna, it's mansoob. So why this one fatha? Because it's becoming a mudaf, so you cannot have tanween, and ka is mudaf ilayhi. So inna sa'ataka jamilatun. So this is khabar inna jamilatun ya Hashimu. Most definitely your watch is very beautiful, ya Hashim. Amin al Yaban here. Is it from Japan? And Hashim replies, la innaha min al Hind. No, it is from India. So again, indeed it is. So why ha? Because sa'atun is a muannas word. So inna ha is a ismu inna. Min al Hind is jar majrur shibu jumla khabar. So al-Mudarris, aghaliyatun hiya am rakhisatun. See, ghaliya and rakhis. So if you translate what we say is it cheap or expensive? So we'll use both together. So with or as a connector, here the connector will be separated between two words. So aghaliyatun here, ghaliya means expensive. Is it expensive or cheap? Rakhisatun. So Hashim says innaha, indeed it is rakhisatun jiddan. See, it is rakhisatun is a khabar inna. And what is jiddan? Jiddan is a maf'ulun mutlaq. So we're going to do it later inshallah. So it is very cheap. So it just give a more intensity. So indeed it is very cheap. Innaha, indeed it is bimi'atin rubiyatin faqat. So it is 100 rupees only. Faqat means only. So Al-Mudir is asking, Kam akhan laka ya Hashim. So we have come here again. So what comes after come is tamiz. So it is singular noun, indefinite, mansoob. So he says, Kam akhan laka ya Hashim. How many brothers do you have, ya Hashim? So Hashim says, Li, I have. So jar majrur shibu jumla khabar muqaddam. So li thalasatu ikhwatun. So I have 3 brothers. Thalasatu is again mubtada muakhar wa huwa mudaf, and ikhwatin is mudaf ilayhi. So it's number 3 to 10. It is a combination of mudaf ilayhi. Al-Mudarris atullabun hum. Are they students? So he says, Hashim says, La innahum tujjarun. See, there's a plural forms, tajirun and tujjarun, fu'alun, the pattern. So we should be able to recollect all these things. So Al-Mudarris say, Wakam ukhtan laka. And how many sisters do you have? So again, ukhtan is tamiz. They say, Li arba'u akhawatin. So now we know it's after arba'u is always mudaf ilayhi. It's not akhawatun, it is akhawatin. Li arba'u akhawatin. So Al-Mudarris, Afil hind hunna al-an. See, hunna means is asking about akhawatin. So they, feminine. So are they in India now? Hashim will say, La inna hunna. See, inna and hunna is ismu inna mansoob. Hunna is zarf. Now, most definitely they are now bil Madinatil Munawwarati. They are in Madinatul Munawwara ma abi wa ummi, with my father and my mother. So here we have 2 words, mudaf ilayhi, abi wa ummi. So that was our lesson. So where we learned about inna, zu and So we got one more sentence left. Sorry, it says about sisters, atalibatuhunna. See, tullabun is muzakkar and talibatun is muannas, jama muannas salim. Talibatunhunna, Hashim says, La innahunna. So indeed they are mudarrisa. What will come here? Mudarrisa tun, because it is khabar. Innahunna mudarrisatun bil madrasatil. So here it is a jar majrur bil madrasatis sanaviyati. So this is ism majrur and naat in the middle school. They are teachers in the middle school. So today we've learned about inna. We've learned about zu. Zu is a possessor, which will always comes as a mudaf, and it can also come as a naat as well. The most example what we normally read in dua is Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. See, the means it is a mansoob form, is a possessor of Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. So that's about zu coming as a mudaf, and which is means or. So we have a separator and so the 2 nouns get separated. So one comes after and another comes after So inshallah we will continue in our next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.